This is the iPhone 16 Pro, and for months I've traveled with it, taken photos and videos with it, had video meetings on it, tapped back like no one's watching, and played lots of Mario Kart. This is All Things Mobile. Let's do a long-term check-in on the iPhone 16 Pro. It's funny how time sorts everything out. When the iPhone 16 Pro launched in September, it was presented as Apple's first iPhone, designed from top to bottom for Apple intelligence. There were commercials with Snoop Dogg, ice cream, calling it the iPhone 16 with Apple intelligence. But Apple intelligence felt like it got a lot of fanfare for what's mostly been a number of clever features, but not much else. Thankfully, even without Apple intelligence in the equation, the iPhone 16 Pro is excellent. So what's it been like to use for the past 7 months? Let's get into it. So something that didn't get a lot of news about the iPhone 16 Pro when it came out is that it has a new version of Ceramic Shield. Now, when I tested the iPhone 15 Pro Max last year, around the same time, about the 6 or 7 month mark, I was shocked by how many small scratches and nicks that it had accumulated. Now, granted, I don't put a case on that. So how did the iPhone 16 Pro do in the same amount of time with durability and its new Ceramic Shield? Well, to my eyes, it has 3, maybe 4 minor scratches, but nothing compared to the old Ceramic Shield on the iPhone 15 Pro over the same amount of time. Oh my goodness, one of my favorite things on this phone, and you've heard me talk about it in previous videos, is the battery life. This is not hyperbole, but this is the best iPhone for battery life. Now, in my time with it, this gets through a day on average. Sometimes I'm able to make it through half of the next day, but overall, I'm impressed with the battery life on the iPhone 16 Pro. Related to battery life is charging. I would say 90% of the time I'm using the MagSafe fast charger. I hardly ever plug this thing into a wired charger. That also might be why I have pretty good battery health. Camera control was one of the big features that Apple touted for the iPhone 16 series, and it's been a little weird, but I've found a nice compromise with where I'm at with it today. Essentially, I use camera control. I double click it to open the camera. It's my camera open shortcut. I love it. I don't even have to think about it. As I'm pulling my phone out of my pocket, I can double click it so it's already open for me to take a photo. To prevent me from triggering accidentally, I have the double click enabled and I have the require screen on turned off. That way I can double tap it even if the phone's off. Love it. The other thing I use it for is I use the half press, and I use that to lock autofocus and auto exposure, especially if I'm outdoors and I have like kind of noon sunlight where the sun's coming directly down and doing some shadows. I just want to lock my exposure in and make sure people's skin tones are protected. But that's how I use the camera control. I did try using it with visual intelligence, and that's quite a bit of fun for searching things for Google or prompting ChatGPT. iOS 18 has been a dream on this phone. I really do think it is so well integrated with the 16 Pro. Things that stand out to me are the ability to customize, whether it's my home screen, whether it's my control panel. There are so many things to customize, and I have way too many lock screens at this point. I also love using emoji for tap back. That's probably the thing I use most. That's an iOS 18 feature. There's lots of subtle things too, but iOS 18 has been fantastic on the iPhone 16 Pro. The cameras from day one have been outstanding. I love the 4K 120 frames per second slow-mo. It's actually really great for filming B-roll. Usually we use a dedicated camera, but sometimes I have to do a pickup shot. And when I film it with 4K 120 frames per second, I can get these nice slow motion shots that can be sped up or sped down by the editor. Photos look fantastic. As I'm talking, please take a look at some of the favorite ones that I've taken. One of the other features for the cameras is audio mix. I use that occasionally. So really where that comes in handy for me is I'm asked a lot of times to film social videos, and that's usually gonna be on my phone. And if I'm not mic'd up, I will definitely use audio mix to bring down some background noise or make my voice sound more present before I share it with our social producers. But I would not say it's worth buying this phone just for the Apple Intelligence, at least not yet. All right, this might be the hardest thing to talk about in this whole video is, should you buy the iPhone 16 Pro now? Should you wait for the iPhone 17? Or what about tariffs? Let's talk about the phone first by itself. I think if you're ready for an upgrade, that the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be best for people coming from an iPhone 13 Pro and older. And even if you have a 13 Pro and the battery's still good, I'd ask you to think about if you really want to upgrade. In terms of tariffs, we don't know. Apple has not told us what to expect with the iPhone. There are rumors that Apple is shifting production from China to India for all US-based iPhones. So hopefully it seems like they're doing everything they can to not change the price or the experience of buying an iPhone for its customers. In terms of the iPhone 17 Pro, well, we're in that weird 4.5, 5 months away mark. So unless you really want to wait and get the most cutting edge phone, I think go ahead and buy the iPhone 16 Pro. I can't imagine the 17 Pro is going to be radically different enough to warrant waiting almost half a year for it. But those are my thoughts. So at the end of the day, the iPhone 16 Pro is doing fantastic. The expansion of iOS 18 and better controls for things like the camera control button go a long way. But for me, it's all about that battery life. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you have an iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max? If so, how's it been using it? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more all things mobile, please subscribe. Lastly, thank you for watching.